Well, hey everybody, what's happening?
Hello.
You're so awkward.
I didn't know what to say. I was trying to figure out what to think.
Trying to figure out what to think. That's so good.
I think thoughts.
I speak words. Oh my god, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We've missed you all. This is the first episode of 2025 of the Battle Rush
Indeed.
podcast. We've missed you. How the hell have you been? My name is Mac. This is Alamo over here. If you're new to the show, please tell us how you stumbled onto us by accident, because no one finds a show on purpose unless they know what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we took a little bit of a break for the holidays, just to spend time with the families and such.
The holiday hiatus.
Holiday
It was
hiatus.
Good. It was very nice.
It was very good. Christmas was good. New Year's was good.
Oh,
got some. You all right there, bud?
Shoulders are fucking killing me. Especially a big part of it was this situation I explained to you last night with that freaking tire plug kicking my ass. So, go figure. Whoa, easy there, taking pills while on air there, big guy.
Just taking some acetaminophen, hush.
Acetaminophen.
Took some Motrin. Doc said drink water and take Motrin. That's what the fuck I'm doing. Calm down.
Ibuprofen. God, get it right.
Whatever.
Jeez.
Shut up. Anyway, so God, what
got a hemorrhoid? Water and ibuprofen.
Motrin. When the hell did we do our last show, man?
Bleeding from the ears? Water and ibuprofen.
Bleeding from the ears? Shit.
Infantry Doc's freaking cure-all.
We haven't done a show in over a month, dude.
I know, it's been a hot minute. It was like right before the holiday, I think.
Yeah, the 20th.
It was the 20th, right? Yeah.
Because I don't even have it on the roster right now. I'm actually adding that right now.
Crazy thing is we're 2 away from our centennial. So stay tuned, folks. Our centennial episode is coming up soon.
Yeah, no shit. So I'll get to that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm,
anyway, so we took some time off for the holidays, spent it with the family. Everything was good. We're glad to be back. It's been a little bit of adjustment getting back into the swing of things, for me at least, this week. Just getting back into the swing of things. Doing twice weekly meetings, doing the show on Fridays and stuff, in addition to work and other responsibilities. So Withers is watching. War Daddy's watching. He says, I can't type. He just texted me and he said, druggy. I'm like, no. I'll keep up the commentary with him live while we're doing it.
Nice.
Thanks, War Daddy. But so let's see.
Fantastic.
Did you have any cool stuff happen? I mean, besides the traditional holiday stuff, did you have anything fun or cool happen over the break?
No.
I knew you were going to do that. Dramatic pause, me drooling. No.
I could have did it like Patrick from Spon.
That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
Nope, I don't think so, SpongeBob.
You know who that guy is, right? That's that big goofy dude that was on Coach with Craig T. Nelson.
No kidding.
Yeah. Hey,
wow.
Coach. Like, oh. My grandfather loved that show. Loved that show. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Anyway, so we took a nice little break. We're happy to be back at it. Like I said, for me, it's been an adjustment, just getting back to the swing of things, discussing what we're going to talk about, research, in addition to our regular everyday jobs and lives with families and stuff. So, bit of an adjustment. But like I said, we're glad to be back. So, the last episode that we did, was episode 097. That was our unscripted holiday episode. You're just gonna have
Yeah.
to watch their shenanigans because we literally just shot from the hip on that damn thing.
Holiday
So
shenanigans is always the best.
we're gonna just kind of hopefully hit the ground running right where we left off, and kind of full steam ahead, all that good stuff. So, before we go any further, if you haven't done so, please make sure that you hit the go on our social media, different social media
Like, share,
avenue,
subscribe, and comment. Commenting is the best thing.
all that shit. Go on. You can pretty much, if you go to our YouTube channel, we have a YouTube channel, Battle Bros Podcast. If you go to that, it'll link you to all the other social media stuff on the Instagram, all the good stuff. Alamo's also going to give you the rundown on all that after the show tonight, after we have our discussion. So no worries there. Let's see what is going on. We didn't really have too many news stories, so to speak. Hold that thought. And then my allergies hit. All of a sudden, that's the one thing I didn't do. Actually, I did take my allergy.
Been messing with me too. Actually, bad.
So let's see the new stuff we have. We didn't really have any new stuff. We were going to just talk about, what happened with us when we were on our hiatus. The wildfires are going on in California. No, I said hiatus with a T. I don't know why you're trying to be all the weird. So hold on.
I gotta add some humor to it. It's been
War Daddy's like, allergies? Sure. Come on, bro.
Yeah, those wildfires, man, they've been freaking nuts. I feel bad for any of those firefighters that got to deal with that crap, especially again, this is unsubstantiated. This is as of right now so far rumor. They say there has been rumor that some firefighters have come out and said that they have determined that they've been finding let's just say some evidence of arson of some kind, but I'm not going to go into that. I don't live in California, so.
Yeah, but it just seems like anytime there's some kind of news story, it's like, let's not investigate it. Let's just come out and just come up with what other random ass, like swag, sophisticated, wild ass guess, and just say,
It sounds about right. Roll it.
So other than that, we really don't have any news. There's what else is going to be going on soon?
Striker.
Well, yeah, there's a new Striker variant coming out, which is going to. We were actually reading about this before the show, and Alamo's, he's a Striker guy, so they're coming out with a new version of the Striker. It's the M1304 Alpha 1, which basically is the same Striker, except that it now has that V-shaped hole for blast diffusion off to the side. Comes up and also just kind of fixes some other small issues like ammo storage procurement on the inside.
Essentially the newest, latest, greatest ICV, aka infantry carrier vehicle, which is pretty dope.
Yeah. What'd you do this time? Yeah, we put power windows on that fucking thing. Awesome. Got an AM/FM radio, and it's got an 8-track player. There you go.
No, not 8-track. Not 8-track. Remember, we're in the modern times. Okay, it's an iPad.
It's got a place to plug in your MP3 there, dude. You got an aux cord to plug in your MP3 and jam to your favorite tunes in the back of the Striker going to hit the damn target. It's going to be
right
fucking
there,
awesome.
Buckle. That's right. Now,
I don't know why that's dude. I was watching something on John Candy the other day, and that's why I started doing that damn accent.
Mm-hmm.
It was there's a show. There's a guy named Rich Eisen, who is like a sportscaster dude. Hold on. War Daddy just texted. Stand by.
Uh-oh.
No, needs to be a fucking Walkman. War Daddy for the win. Oh, there we go.
Oh
Fucking
man.
Walkman, and that's funny. That's what we use because we're
Cassette.
grunts. We
Mhm.
walk. Anyway, that's what I did there.
Yeah.
No, but fuck. What were we talking about?
Stuff.
Yeah, but what were we talking about?
I don't know. I'm
He just
ADHD brain. You're kind of
he just texted. He went, "Get out of my RV and push."
nice.
That's funny. Oh, the Rich Eisen thing. So yeah, Judge Reinhold, who played Billy Rosewood in Beverly Hills Cop, he also played one of the guys in the movie Stripes with Bill Murray, Harold Ramis.
That's
John
right.
Candy was in that movie as well. So they were talking about how John Candy, he's from Canada, and they shot the movie in a dry county here in the States, and they said, so what does dry county mean? He goes, it means you can't buy beer or alcohol, or you can't buy alcohol. And John Candy goes, yeah, right. So apparently, because he's from Canada, he's like, beer's
Yeah.
not alcohol. Like he's like, what? So
Yeah.
he apparently, according to the story, he got the Teamsters in on it. So they had 2 hotel rooms. They had one room that was his, and one where they kept the bathtub just full of ice and beer. And yeah, just made shit happen. So, and that's
Nice.
where they also performed, like, rehearsed the razzle dazzle rifle scene and all that shit.
Yeah. Razzle dazzle.
1, 2, 3, 4. Shh. So good. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
But you have to watch the extended director's cut because there's so much other shit. So there's that scene where Hulk comes in and he's like, it's come to my attention that several members of this outfit have left without permission. I want to know who they are, and I want to know right now. Well, it actually shows them leaving the base. And they don't just leave the base, they leave the fucking country. They end up on a C-130 in South America with a bunch of Green Berets down in, like, Colombia. And they're like, and Bill Murray's sitting there singing, Quando, 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 Quando. Like, he's just singing his, oh my God. It's like, it just makes the movie so much better.
Bill Murray's just
Because Bill Murray's Bill Murray.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, Bill Murray's a national treasure. So
absolutely.
But yeah, Stripes extended director's cut, awesome. Anyway, what do you say? Oh hell yeah, dude! We need to have like a movie night. We need to watch that. We'll just sit up drinking and fucking watch that movie. That's gonna be great.
Heck yeah!
All right, so let's 15 minutes in. Let's finally get into the episode. How about it? So
yeah, let's do it.
This is going to be episode, as Alamo said, we're a couple away from the centennial, which is going to be a big deal. But this is going to be episode 098, and we are talking about the subject of, drumroll, leadership. That's right, folks. We're going to talk about leadership. So, what is leadership? Well, shit, I'm glad you all asked. Let's look at it, shall we? Leadership is defined as the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Now, if you're new to the show, yes, we do kind of have a focus on military, law enforcement, first responder, veteran communities as well. But this message doesn't really, it's not exclusively for those, groups of folks that we're talking about. This can apply to anybody. I mean, this is just, we're going to kind of talk about the military stuff because that's what we know. But hell, if you can take something from it, go for it. So
this will be one of those episodes where pretty much anybody can kind of jump in and kind of self-reflect and, possibly jump in and comment in the live chat if you feel like. Hink, hink. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Just
it
because
would behoove you,
indeed,
to take part.
Indeed.
Anyway,
just because of the nature of it, because this is a subject where we all have experiences with certain specific types of leadership.
Now, hold on. Before you go any further, incoming message from the big fat head. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. What's War Daddy saying?
He's got a GIF, and it's Mario in a little like bird suit, and he's like, "Follow me!" And he's like flying and dipping, all this kind of shit. It's pretty dope.
I'm guessing he's trying to imply Blue Falcon.
It's
I don't know.
Mario.
It is definitely Mario.
It's
I don't know.
Mario. I don't know how to explain it. So
Woohoo!
something I want everybody to keep in mind. This is you might not have heard this term before, but this is something that Alamo and I have mentioned a multitude of times on our show.
Often enough.
If you have heard of leadership, you need to hear the yang to the yin. And that word is leader. Yes.
Shit.
So change the P, change a papa for a tango, change a P for a T, and you've got leader shit. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, we also have a definition for that one too, sports fans. Yes, indeed. All righty. Oh, that's right. Bob Uecker passed away at 90 years old.
Oh, damn.
That was it. Yeah. He was the announcer from the Major League movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. 90 years old. Funny fucking dude. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just thought of that. Rest in peace, Mr. Euchre. Leader shit. Now, this is according to one of the greatest websites that you can find definitions for words on. A little website known as urbandictionary.com. We are not affiliated or sponsored by them, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever need a chuckle,
They have some good stuff.
they've got some fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
And on there, they have the random word of the day. And it's, you can, they have several people. You can find 3 or 4 definitions for the same word or same term. And you can go down that dark proverbial rabbit hole on that
and get
one.
stuck fairly quick.
And get stuck fairly quick. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely there, pal.
Definition?
Yeah. War Daddy said Hall of Fame catcher and a real American treasure. Yes, he was. Bob Uecker was fantastic. 90 years old. Rest in peace, sir. All right. So, leader shit with the T is defined. One definition that we pulled off of urbandictionary.com is chaotic, worthless leadership, often occurring in less desirable environments in which power-hungry idiots assume positions of leadership. So, once again, thank you to that lovely piece of material from Urban Dictionary. Fucking fantastic, Hua.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So, how many of you guys have dealt with that kind of a person? Raise your hands and comment in the comment section.
In the military, in civilian life. Yeah. So, and why do we bring that up? So it's the nemesis of leadership is leader shit. Okay, and the reason we bring it up is that you can definitely. War Daddy's like, I have names.
Nice.
I have names. I'm sure. Yes, he does. Oh, that's great. But
awesome.
And we've mentioned that term a shit ton of times, but we've also mentioned that yes, leadership is also important because just like you can learn from good examples, you can learn just as much and sometimes, if not more, from bad examples. Okay, so a good example that we can kind of give you right now, if you have seen the HBO series Band of Brothers, okay. There is a person that was a part of Easy Company 506, portrayed by David Schwimmer, who's known, from his fame as Ross on Friends. He played the company commander, Captain Herbert Sobel, who was a bastard, just an absolute bastard. And the great thing about what they did, so quick sidebar, the guy that played Colonel Sink is a gentleman by the name of Dale Dye. Dale Dye is a Vietnam veteran who served in the Marines. He ended up being a grunt starting off. He was enlisted, and he was a Mustang, so he was an enlisted that went officer. So he retired or was discharged or whatever. He achieved the rank of a Marine captain, but he was a public affairs Marine. He has a company called Warriors Inc. Now, what Warriors Inc. does, and does very, very, very well, is they will take a group of actors who are going to portray military members in different movies or miniseries or whatnot. Like the undertaking with Band of Brothers was absolutely massive. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Like
what
a
they
budget
did,
that I think superseded
oh,
freaking Saving Private Ryan at
it
certain
was
points.
insane. I mean, 10 episodes that were all like mini movies in their own right,
Yup.
just everything. But what he did is he not only trained the actors and trained them on period specific tactics. They had like guys teaching them, don't say yeah, you say yes, because they didn't really say yeah back in the 40s and 50s and that kind of stuff. Make sure they're using the appropriate chronological vernacular, but just to give them to be accurate as much as possible. And what they did during the boot camp for the actors for Band of Brothers is they didn't associate with David Schwimmer. They did not associate with Captain Sobel because they wanted those guys to fucking hate his guts. Well, guess what? It worked. So, like, when Herbert Sobel passed away in real life, I think in like the 60s or 70s, nobody came to his funeral from Easy Company. Not the first damn person. He was just absolutely hated. Now, the reason I say that, yes, was he a terrible officer and was he just a real fucking son of a bitch to work with? Of course. But the one thing that can be said that was true, and Colonel Sink said this to him, is that I'm certain, Herbert, that you have fielded one of the finest infantry companies I have ever seen. He was a great trainer. Terrible leader in combat. Because every time they went out in the field, you ended up dead, right? He freaked out. He got lost. All that shit. And you can just see his shortcomings as an effective combat leader kind of coming to fruition very early on in that first episode where he's predominantly focused. So, but anyway, I say that to bring up this fact that even though he was a terrible person, the training that he put those guys through made the company so freaking strong and just so tight-knit. Even though he was terrible. Now, you had the other leaders in this company. Like, you had, like, Lewis Nixon. You had Dick Winters. You had, all these other company, platoon leaders, especially the junior leaders in the company. You had Buck Compton. All these platoon leaders were coming out and all this stuff. And you could just really see this leadership coming on the up and up from underneath the non-coms. You had First Sergeant Lipton. You had all these other guys that was, Lipton being portrayed by Donnie Wahlberg. And, but just in real life, like, these guys were all just fucking studs, man. So it's very important to bring up the fact that, yes, you can learn from, I talk about, the career that I've had, just the different jobs I've had in my adult life. A lot of it's working with the public.
Yeah.
Customer service, now that I'm a therapist and whatnot. But it's amazing how you can see interaction with people, like seeing what works for certain people and what works for other people, like doesn't work. And it's just like, yeah, don't do that. Don't talk to me like that. I'm going to make sure I don't go and do that kind of shit to somebody else. So you can learn just as much from bad examples as you can from a positive example. Alamo, I feel like you're chomping at the bit. So go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I was going to say, I think a lot of that comes from because you see, you see how it is, like, because like from your experience, right? Your experience kind of gives you that kind of understanding, like, wow, I did not like this when I was going through this. I don't know, like, whenever I have the chance to have somebody below me, I don't want them to feel like I did, because feeling like I did sucked under this individual, whoever the heck this person was. And I can honestly say,
tell us names. Tell us names.
And honestly, I could tell you, like, there's been a couple of people that I've worked under that it's just like, I swear, when I get into a leadership position, I'm never doing what you did. I just, my people will not, I don't care if they like me or don't like me, but doggone it, they'll have respect. Because certain, let's just say, individuals You didn't like them and you didn't respect them all at once. And that's kind of like it's kind
Yeah.
of like a double-edged sword in a
So
lot of
like,
different ways, because it doesn't it detracts from the team. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It demotivates and pulls a lot away from the team that could be done better.
Instead of giving and forming cohesion, you're causing brokenness. Like the only cohesive environment you have is everybody saying, "Hey, fuck that guy. He's a total dick." Like I had
Tool.
leaders, yeah, and not the band, not the band. But yeah, like I had leaders. When I first got to the unit, like I had some leaders in my company where the only thing that was going for them was the amount of knowledge that they had. They had a
Yeah.
lot of technical knowledge, they had a lot of tactical expertise, but they were just shitheads at leaders,
Yeah.
They were just
Absolutely.
absolute garbage, And it's like it kind of, especially for me, being a guardsman for 6 years, it's like that kind of just helps to perpetuate that stereotype of like people don't take us seriously because we just go to drill on the weekend. Like compared to our active duty components and shit, it's like I can't take at least a couple of times we had guys that came from active duty and they're like, "Oh, this is what it's like in the guard." Yeah, I'm out. I'm going back active duty. Like everything it's the same shit, but it just happens quicker
Yeah.
and more efficiently. Fuck this, I'm out. But so going along with it, so like we were talking about, I kind of feel, and this isn't something that I read anywhere. This isn't something that we researched. Like we were just kind of talking about that. This is something that I personally feel like there's three kinds of people when you talk about leaders. Okay, the word, the gospel according to Mac. Didn't hear this anywhere else. This is coming straight from me. You got three kind of people. You have like the natural born leaders. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. In the movie We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, Sam Elliott, you have that young platoon leader named Jack Gagan,
Yep.
who just his daughter, his child was born right before they left, and you see him out in training, and he's actually down there looking at that guy, Willie Godbolt, one of the young soldiers in his platoon. He's like sitting there, and he's like, take your shoe off. He's like looking. He's like, you got some freaking nasty blisters. Get some fresh socks from Supply, and like you see that he's like taking care of his men. He's like, yeah, like take off your feet. Everybody check your feet like Godbolt and me, man. Like, and that's like the kind of leadership you have that you can't teach. It's just naturally there. You just naturally are a good fucking leader. Okay. Now, the next group I find of the three, so group 2 are the people that may not have natural leadership abilities, but guess what? They can be taught. Okay. And there is so much knowledge going back to ancient times. You have The Art of War by Sun Tzu. You have so many ancient texts and just all kind of different
I have
things.
that book.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
You have, just even things like something I've read, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That's, in a way, that's leadership. Just how to, positively influence people to kind of encourage them to do something. You may not want them to do it. You may not set out to have them do it, but it can happen that way. So just leadership ability can be taught. And there are those people that may not have it originally, but guess what? They're set out to improve themselves, to make themselves better, so on and so forth. Does that make sense? Do you have anything you want to add to that? The double tap on that.
Oh God, excuse me.
That was not what I was talking about. Jesus, what the hell
I was trying not
that?
to let that out. I was trying to hold it in, actually.
Cover the microphone next time. Just like,
I was literally trying to hold it in. I'm like,
sound like a gray whale's blowhole.
I'm like, oh well, that happened.
Well, we just lost a viewer.
We did.
We're down to one. Shit.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like I've seen those kind of individuals that they have that kind of natural leadership ability. Like and it's not like I honestly, it's actually I recognize one of them from my current job right now. Um, and you notice the key differences between when there's that kind of an individual and then there's the other individual that is kind of the, let's just say, turd in a shirt.
Turd in a shirt.
Turd in a shirt, yeah. And
oh my god, that's the best thing I've heard all day. Oh my
I didn't coin that term, but it's a great term.
But it fits. It completely freaking fits, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And so, and the shame of it is that you have those two kind of leadership, or those two kind of leaders in the building currently, and it's just like, one, you highly respect and you want to try and do the best you can to make sure you don't get on their bad side, and then the other's just you want to try and restrain yourself from doing certain things that you imagine in your mind, and you're just saying, thank God I don't act out my things I think
irrational thoughts in my head.
Yeah. So yeah.
So what about the second one though?
Apparently, I perplexed War Daddy.
Oh, is he
with my statement?
Hey, there he is. Hey,
I did. He's got like a big question mark right next to it. I'm like, well, yeah, turd in a shirt.
Well, it's funny, in the Air Force they call first sergeant a first shirt, so it's like turd shirt. Bring me my brown shirt. So you were talking about like natural leader ability. What about the
academy grad? Haha, nice.
What about fucking ring knockers? What about like the folks that get taught leadership ability? Like, I go back. We talk about high school a lot. Like you see kids that like when you're in high school, man, you're still figuring things out. You're still trying to figure out who the hell you are and whatnot. But then you see guys come in like we were, so like I was talking about leadership earlier this week, like about my daughter. My daughter had these meetings before school all this week because she's part of the music program leadership. She's in this one program where they're learning how to play trumpet in 5th grade. Normally that's not until 6th grade. So like she's doing that. She's in chorus. She actually sang. So one of the things over the Christmas break, not over Christmas break, but just last week, she actually was in. I'm doting on my daughter. Sorry, folks. Proud dad moment here. She did all state chorus at the convention center in Tampa, which was phenomenal. I was telling my neighbor about that. She's like, "How was it?" I was like, "Oh, it was amazing." But just the fact that, at 5th grade, she's already comfortable enough. I mean, she's a safety patrol. She's in the music stuff. She's very much a leader right now. And it's like, that's awesome to see that kind of ability at 10, going on 11 years old in a couple of months. And it's just like, wow, that's awesome, So I do believe that is, when you have somebody that is trainable like that, a few times I've seen where like, they can be some of the best leaders where they have no experience, but then they're just like, they're taught and they just flourish, You see some of those guys in basic too, like, they get put in charge of a squad or something like that. And, next thing you know, they're just like, it just clicks and you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So that leads us to group number 3. Those are the people that got no fucking business being in charge of shit. Okay.
I've known one of those in my military career.
Yeah. So earlier at the beginning of season 3, we did an episode called What If? And we talked about, if we were Sergeant Major Army, what would we bring back as like our legacy piece? One of the things that I would do, and I mentioned this in the show, is bringing back the parallel rank structure from Specialist 5 through Specialist 9. So anything at E5 and above, you're an NCO automatically. You make sergeant, you start going up through the rank, staff sergeant, sergeant first class, all the way up through sergeant major. you don't need to have certain people as a sergeant major if they suck as a leader.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always mean that they're a bad person. That's just not what they do, right?
Correct.
You could have a guy who's an E9 be a specialist 9 who's out there wrenching on freaking Humvees or Strikers or fucking, Bradleys, whatever the hell we're using nowadays, and he's good at it. And like they had, you saw in
Damn
Vietnam,
good
they
at
had
it.
they had a lot of guys that were getting promoted that were specialists, 5, 6, and 7. These are medics that are getting, being awarded the Medal of Honor and whatnot. They don't always need to be leaders just to be good at their job. Certain things, yeah, I think like for special forces, yeah, you want to have guys that are NCOs to make sure they're good at what they do, because not only are you tactically proficient at and technically proficient at all the different things, they cross train between the different MOSs. You need to be a leader, and being an NCO obviously comes with the territory.
Yeah, you basically got to be a stud about that crap.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But you don't always have to. You just got some people, they get promoted because like that's the only way to go. But like they're just, when they get into admin and all that crap, they suck at it.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck are you a leader? Like, you're terrible. You don't know how to talk to people. You just you suck. You suck as a person, and you suck as a leader. So just stop.
Or there's a lot of delegation and not a lot of doing yourself.
A lot of this and not a lot of this. So,
or shirking responsibilities when it comes to certain things.
Yes,
I see a lot of that in my civilian life.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also amazing just to see like different leadership styles, and you see some they're like, okay, yeah, sure, that works in that particular circumstance. This one works here. This one works there.
Yeah.
Promotion is too fast to develop. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so War Daddy made a comment, promotion is too fast. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So War Daddy brought up that. Now, at the same time, though, they do have, the NCOES, the Non-Commissioned Officer Education System. You go to schools, all this stuff, depending on, your grade level, not your grade level, but like your rank. You've got, warrior leaders. It used to be called PLDC, Primary Leadership Development Course.
I think you were right in the ballpark, though. I think when you say grade, when you say like when you're in grade,
you have like, you've got warrior leaders course, you've got advanced, senior, master level, sergeant major academy, all that kind of stuff. You got first sergeant's course. So yeah, they have that out there, but like also it's like, again, but that kind of goes along to developing it, with those who can be taught, those who go into the service and like have been leaders before, and it's like, okay, now I need to be a leader. And it's a lot, I would say, for like 9 out of 10 people. Yeah, they're going to learn, they're going to apply what they've learned, and it's like, awesome, let's do it. But you always got that one that's just like, he's kind of like that little piece of corn poopy that's floating on top of the scum pond. It's like, the cream doesn't always rise to the top, kind of thing. It's like you're just floating on to get by and all that kind of shit. So, but yeah,
golden nuggets just hanging there by the surface.
Yeah, golden nuggets. But I strongly feel like if we're gonna, hell, the Air Force is bringing back warrant officers for technical expertise in like cyber, IT, drone warfare, that kind of shit, to keep up with modern times. We live in a very digital age. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's too much to say, hey, let's bring back Spec 5 through Spec 9. And, they could just have we can have their own, whatever, you can have your own kind of areas and stuff. You have the NCO club, then you have the specialist club, the call it the dojo because everybody's a sham shield samurai kind of thing. So whatever. But yeah, I really feel like you got some people that raise the standards again. Yep, amen. Just really start bringing that back. I think that would be good. But anyway, let me not get too far in the weeds on that. So, I found a couple of articles that we can talk about real quick. We've got some different leadership styles that we found here and there and a little bit everywhere.
Huey.
The first one was from harvardbusinessreview.org, hbr.org. This is from last year. This is from April 9th. It's 6 common leadership styles and how to decide which to use when. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of breeze through this real quick. Much are you going to put this up on the screen?
You breeze through it there, Mako.
All right, man. I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
No worries. I'm going to get going. So, much has been written about common leadership styles and how to identify the right style for you. Whether it's you shut up, all I hear is you humming the freaking Arma Barbie girl in my headphones, and I'm trying to read the damn article. Shut the hell up, man! Jesus, you're so freaking annoying sometimes, and this is one of those times.
Jesus.
Much has been written about common leadership styles and how to identify the right style for you, whether it's transactional or transformational, bureaucratic or laissez-faire. But according to Daniel Goleman, a psychologist best known for his work on emotional intelligence, quote, being a great leader means recognizing that different circumstances may call for different approaches, end quote. Drawing on research and experience, Goleman has identified 6 distinct leadership styles that managers can adapt depending on the situations and the needs of their team members. He first introduced these styles in his 2000 HBR Harvard Business Review article, Leadership That Gets Results, and they have since been widely recognized as an essential framework for effective leadership. The 6 leadership styles include coercive leadership style, which entails demanding immediate compliance. Authoritative leadership style, which is about mobilizing people toward a vision. Pace-setting leadership style, which involves expecting excellence and self-direction. Affiliative leadership style, which centers around building emotional bonds. Democratic leadership style, which involves creating consensus. And coaching leadership style, which focuses on developing people for the future. Though the world has changed over the past 2 decades, these leadership styles remain relevant. Mastering them will help you navigate the complexities of different situations, boost morale, and drive your team's long-term growth. With that in mind, here's a closer look at each of the 6 leadership styles and when to use them, updated for today's business landscape. Now, again, a lot of these articles that we find, like this one's Harvard Business Review, we don't know shit about owning a business. I've helped to run a business before. I've been involved in that. Alamo works for a business, all that kind of stuff. But it's not quite the same thing. So even though this article is about business, if you think about the military, it's a business. We have a very distinct set of goals and leadership, command climate and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot to go along with that. So if you think about it in the very basic sense, yes, this will apply. That being said, number 1, coercive leadership style. Of all the leadership styles, coercive is the least effective in most situations, according to Goleman. It's not difficult to understand why. The style is characterized by top-down decision-making, an authoritarian approach, and a demanding do-what-I-say attitude, he says. While this style may yield short-term results, it has a corrosive long-term impact on the company culture, leading to higher employee turnover and a disillusioned, disengaged workforce.
I know somebody like that at my current job. It's
and that's why we don't say where we work, folks.
Yeah. It's not pleasant.
No.
It's not pleasant at all.
When to use the coercive leadership style. This command and control leadership style may work in a certain crisis situations where swift, decisive action and a clear chain of command are needed. A corporate takeover or an emergency room, for instance. In most cases, though, this approach is likely to be detrimental. I would say the military probably also falls into the, hey, fuckface, cover that sector of fire with the pig, you moron. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
basically.
I've never been told that, but I can definitely see that being an example. Number 2, authoritative leadership style. The authoritative leadership. Shut up. The authoritative leadership style, not to be confused with authoritarian leadership, involves motivating your team members by connecting their work to a larger organizational strategy, helping them understand how their day-to-day tasks contribute to a greater purpose. It's about setting clear guidelines, not micromanaging. It's also about trusting your staff members to work towards the shared vision with autonomy and creativity, which creates high employee engagement and increased job satisfaction. If coercive is the worst kind of leadership, authoritative shines as the most effective and inspiring. This leadership style is beneficial, in lots of situations, and it is particularly useful during times of change or uncertainty. It can also be integrated into daily operations by reminding your team members of your company's mission in an organic way. For example, a pharmaceutical executive might say, "Our work will benefit many patients," while an insurance leader might say, "We're helping people secure their future." These reminders make the organization's goals and mission tangible and meaningful for the team. Number 3, pace-setting leadership style. This style involves holding yourself and others to high standards. While striving for excellence is admirable, the pace-setting approach backfires if the focus is on failures rather than successes. The constant push for productivity and results can also create a pressure cooker work environment, says Goldman. The extreme focus on perfection can also make it difficult for employees to see how their individual efforts fit into the bigger picture, which can lead to increased turnover. Quote, "If your best people are leaving because you're alienating them or stressing them out, then you're not acting in the long-term interests of your organization," he says. Although this style should be used infrequently, it can work in certain circumstances where your employees are highly motivated and exceedingly competent. It may suit specialized groups like R&D or legal teams, for instance. But even in these cases, it is important to balance pace setting with other approaches to avoid consequences like employee burnout.
Yep.
Turnover and burnout are the two biggest things that I've seen and I've experienced. Okay?
Yeah.
No, War Daddy, you never called me that. You never said that. You're such a sweetheart. Stop.
What the hell?
Number 4, affiliative leadership. This style involves building strong emotional bonds, creating a sense of camaraderie and team spirit, and fostering a positive and supportive workplace. This helps team members feel like they belong, can freely share ideas and feedback, and work together towards common goals. According to Goldman, this relationship-oriented style is especially valuable in shaping a positive work environment, which is particularly important at a time when some companies are calling employees back to the office. You can create a caring, cohesive community rather than an administrative machine by getting to know your employees on a personal level and celebrating their wins. This style builds connections and creates a positive company culture, but it should not be used in isolation. It may not provide sufficient feedback to address performance issues or deal with complex challenges. Combining this approach with the inspirational, authoritative styles creates more balance by offering both support and direction. And I have a fantastic example of that. When we do battle buddies for Flipside mentorship, that very much screams to me affiliative, because we're getting all the kids together on the same team. We're doing trying to get goals and stuff attached to it, get them to work together. All the times that we've done that, dude, that screams it to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 5.
Next battle buddies meeting coming soon.
Is it coming up already? Summer, right?
June. Yeah, June. Ugh.
Number 5, democratic style. The democratic leadership style involves empowering your team to have a voice in decision making. By taking the time to gather input, listen to concerns and diverse perspectives, and incorporate feedback, you show your team members that their opinions matter, their voices are heard, and their contributions are valued. This gives them a sense of ownership and responsibility. When to use this style. This style is ideal for when you're unsure about the best course of action and want to generate ideas, but it's not a good strategy when your team members lack experience or information or in times of crisis. There's a great scene at the beginning of Lone Survivor where you see all the members of the SEAL team sitting around talking and giving their little piece of the pie on the briefing for the mission for Operation Red Wings. And like they're just kind of boom, 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 getting all the ideas off each other. Yes, the leaders are going to be responsible for making the final decision of, go, no go, all that good stuff. But at least you're getting ideas and feedback from all the members, even the junior members of the SEAL team. So,
yeah. You know what's funny is I find myself to be a little bit of a combination of number 4, number 5. I figured that out after reading this article. I was like, huh. I feel like that's number 4, number 5 sounds a lot like me.
I'm pretty sure I am probably more. I would say I'm a good combination of 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Especially number 6. That's I know, and we'll get into that here in a sec.
Indeed.
Number 6, coaching leadership style. The coaching style is focused on individual growth and involves dedicating time to understand your team members' long-term goals, both for their personal and professional development. Asking questions like, what do you want from your life, your career, this job? And how can I help you? Encourages your employees to reflect on their aspirations and work towards achieving them, says Goldman. By taking a genuine interest in their development, you help your employees feel valued and motivated.
Damn right.
This style is especially useful during one-on-one performance evaluations, but you can also slip into it in everyday conversations, he says. A leader in coach mode might say, you're great at XYZ, but when you do ABC, it doesn't work as well because of these reasons. Have you considered trying this other approach instead? This real-time feedback helps employees grow and learn rather than letting potential problems linger. Not to speak ill of anybody, but I was helping my younger brother. He had some kind of slow leak in his tire. And he's like, can you patch it and show me how to do it? I'm like, yeah, I got you, man. So I kind of have a lot of that mentality of what we were taught in the military, which is crawl, walk, run. Learn it real slow, regular speed, and then, final, kind of feedback and advice, and then just go for gold. So I'm showing him, and having worked in, customer service and retail, I got a lot of experience talking to people, and I just talked to him, and I just said, hey, here's how you do this. This is what you want to look for. When you got the little reamer tool and you're, clearing out the hole in there, make sure you get that nice and
the core tool.
Yeah, and then you put the plug in and you put the cement on there. Now, my older brother, God rest him, he meant well a lot of times. However, he wasn't always the best communicator, and I'm just telling it like it is, man. Like I got nothing that I'm going to gain or lose from this. I'm just saying, like I love the dude to death. I miss him every single day. I just wish he was a lot more open to talk about certain things when he was here. That being said, he came out while we were doing this, and he's like, I'm here to supervise. I'm like, supervise what? He goes, what you guys are doing? I'm like, I think we're good. Go back in the house. He didn't like that, but he just kind of was like hoping that, like, hey, this is... I'm the older brother, like I should be in charge. It's like it don't always work like that. No. And so anyway, I finished helping my younger brother, plug a tire and all that kind of stuff, and he's just like, why can't our brother talk to us like that? I'm like, it's a good question. It's a $64,000 question. He meant well. He had a lot of knowledge. He had a lot of experience doing various different things, but just the way he went about trying to pass on that knowledge, it's just like you're talking to me like I'm a fucking idiot, and like I really don't care what you have to say right now, because you're talking and treating me like said idiot.
Yeah. I've.
I mean, I can't be
again,
the only one
I can
that's had
honestly
that
agree and say that
experience.
I've been, or I should say, I have experienced that kind of thing with certain leaders and otherwise, currently, at present and in the past. It's never fun.
Yeah.
Never
So
fun at
if
all.
you will click over to that other, the second article.
10
So we
reasons,
found,
or
no,
is
not
it
that one.
exploring?
Exploring, please. So we found another
Indeed.
article. Now, some of the information here. This is an article from 2023 October. This is a website. This was posted on. It's from Our Lady of the Lake University. So it's OLLUSA.edu. I don't know where that is. I don't know. But they have an article that was also talking about similar stuff. They have a few different other types of leadership that I wanted to share because it was kind of pertinent
They
to our
do. They
conversation.
had a couple extras.
So you're going to hear us
Most
talk about
common
some similar
types.
stuff, and we're going to talk about some of the things we've already discussed in the previous article. Like they talk about pace setting leadership, they talk about authoritative. We'll just kind of briefly cover on those. But the ones that they said, when it comes to leadership styles, there's no one size fits all approach. Leaders often draw from various types of leadership styles based on their unique strengths and the specific needs of the team or organization. Here, we'll explore 6 common leadership styles, shedding light on their characteristics and when they might be effective. Transformational leadership is a style of leadership that focuses on inspiring and motivating followers to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Leaders employ this leadership style set Leaders employing, this leadership style set a compelling vision for the future and encourage your team to pursue it passionately. They foster a culture of innovation and growth, challenging the status quo. Excellent example of transformational leadership is Steve Jobs, who revolutionized the tech industry through his visionary leadership at Apple. Delegative leadership, or laissez-faire leadership, involves leaders granting significant autonomy to their team members. They trust their team's expertise and decision-making abilities. What in the hell are you doing? Oh, I wasn't even looking at that. I just hear you moving around in your room over there. Yeesh. Sorry. They trust their team's expertise and decision-making abilities, providing guidance only when necessary. While this style can empower capable individuals, it may falter when team members lack self-motivation or direction. A leader like Warren Buffett showcases delegative leadership by entrusting his investment managers with substantial decision-making autonomy. Transactional leadership, a focus on clear structures and well-defined roles, characterizes transactional leadership. Leaders utilizing this style establish specific expectations, rewards, and consequences for their team members. They rely on a system of incentives to motivate performance. In the corporate world, Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, exemplified transactional leadership by setting clear targets and rewarding top performers. Democratic leadership we talked about, but this is their take on it. Democratic or participative leadership emphasizes collaboration and consensus building. Leaders seek input from their team members, valuing their opinions in decision making. This approach fosters a sense of ownership and engagement among team members. An example of democratic leadership can be seen in the leadership style of Elon Musk at SpaceX, where he encourages engineers and experts to contribute their ideas and solutions. Servant leadership flips the traditional leadership model, with leaders prioritizing the needs of their team members over their own. They aim to serve and support their team's growth, enabling them to reach their full potential. Notable servant leaders include Abraham Lincoln and Nelson Mandela, who dedicated their lives to serving their communities and advancing social justice causes. Authoritative leadership, often called visionary leadership, is about setting a compelling vision and providing clear direction. Leaders inspire confidence by guiding their team towards a shared goal. A classic example of authoritative leadership is Martin Luther King Jr., whose I Have a Dream speech rallied millions toward a vision of equality and civil rights. Now, this is where they have some similar stuff, but they've also got a few other ones that I thought were pretty interesting for the conversation. Beyond the common leadership styles discussed earlier, leaders can adopt several other leadership approaches to suit different circumstances and organizational needs. Here, we delve into 7 additional leadership styles, highlighting their key characteristics and contexts where they can be effective. Situational leadership is a flexible approach that involves adapting leadership styles to match the specific needs of a situation or individual team members. Leaders assess the readiness and competence of their team members and adjust their leadership behaviors accordingly. Strategic leadership focuses on creating and executing a long-term vision for an organization. Leaders in this style are adept at setting strategic goals, analyzing market trends, and aligning their team's efforts with the organization's overarching mission. Coaching leadership involves actively mentoring and developing team members to reach their full potential. Leaders adopting this style provide constructive feedback, support skill development, and foster a culture of continuous improvement. I find that that's probably the one that I do the most is coaching leadership. Whether I am trying to or not, it just kind of
Ich happen.
it's just it kind of happened, man. That's why.
Ich happen.
Exactly. Bureaucratic leadership relies on strict adherence to rules, policies, and procedures. Leaders in bureaucratic organizations prioritize stability and predictability, often in contexts where safety and regulatory compliance are paramount. Visionary leadership, similar to authoritative leadership, visionary leadership centers on inspiring and motivating through a compelling vision for the future. Visionary leaders articulate and rally their team behind a shared goal, often in innovative or forward-thinking industries. And then the last one we've already talked about, pace setting. Leadership sets high standards for performance and expects team members to follow suit. Leaders in this style lead by example, aiming to achieve excellence and drive productivity. However, it can be demanding and require balancing high expectations with support and feedback. Glad I got that out before I had to sneeze. Thank goodness. So yeah, there was some other stuff on here too. But yeah, if you read it, it is ollUSA.edu/blog/leadership-styles.html. Now, the last article, which is a much shorter article, it's going to go over some stuff real quick. Why leadership is important in the workplace. Now, the workplace can be any one of a lot of different things. A good leader adapts to all the needs of the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines. And we also forgot to remember the Coast Guardsmen and the Guardians of Space Force. Oh, drank all that lemonade already? Holy crap. He said,
It's like
no.
I got like a
I said that. He's like, no.
Like I had like an 8-pack of the freaking Polar seltzer waters. I've already like drank like 6. I've got 3 or no.
This time of night,
5.
dude. I mean,
I've got 3 left in my fridge, my little mini fridge here. I was thinking about making Java at the time before we started. Yeah,
why didn't you?
I don't know. I didn't think about it. Well, I did think about it, but I didn't think about it. Does that make sense? ADHD. It's a hell of a thing. Sorry,
you feel like you're
Space
on
Rangers.
We have those now. We do
have Space Rangers now.
We do have a Space Ranger.
We have a Space Ranger. A Space Ranger.
Fucking awesome.
The fact that we have someone in Space Force that is Ranger qualified at all is like awesome. I'm sorry, it
It's
just
amazing.
is.
It's amazing. So this article, this last article, is from Siena Heights University. It is entitled 10 Reasons Leadership is Important in the Workplace, and it is dated December 8th, 2022. So the workplace, if you think about it, can be a lot of different things. It can be a business, a school, a government agency. It can also be your home. Okay. I mean, it may not be exactly a workplace, but it is a place you're going to do work in. Okay. You're going to look out for the members of your family, your spouse, your children, especially your children. Okay. Because as parents, if you boil it down to the nitty gritty, you are being a leader for them. You are leading them
Yes.
to become able to navigate their own way in life. You're helping
Yeah.
them to establish the fundamental building blocks and the paramount experiences in life to be able to go out one
Yeah.
day and say, I'm good, I'm free, I'm on my own. Holy crap, I'm scared. I'm going to hold your hand over the phone, but just go and do no wrong. Don't do anything serious.
Plus, you're
Should say
trying to
that.
coach them not to make the same mistakes you did. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like,
Oh, dude. You
there's
bring
nothing
up
wrong with making this.
oh,
There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, mistakes is how we grow. It's how we become better people. But
but in
you
sometimes
yes,
sometimes you kind of have to go through the motions of completely failing, fucking up, picking up the pieces, and moving on. Otherwise,
yeah,
you just don't get the benefit of that lesson.
yeah.
True or false?
No, that's definitely facts.
As much as you don't want kids to fall down and make mistakes that you've made, sometimes that's the only way they're going to learn. And
Yep,
it sucks. Learn from the mistakes. I agree.
I
Yeah.
agree.
War
Yep.
Daddy, War Daddy has spoken. Was that number 7? Was that number 7?
Number
Are you
6.
are you dehydrated, dude? Like what the shit?
Yeah, I don't know. that
That's always directed at me, so it's fine.
that is always directed at you.
Anyway, so if we go back to that, I'm going to kind of quickly go through these. Siena Heights University recognizes the value of strong leadership skills in the workplace and incorporates leadership development into programs like our Bachelor of Business Administration. So, 10 reasons leadership is important in the workplace. Number 1, and this doesn't just apply to the workplace. This applies to anywhere a leader is found. Okay.
Correct.
Number 1, improves
Leadership
communication.
is paramount in any organization. Doesn't matter.
Yes. One of the most important duties of a leader is to facilitate communication within the workplace. Clear and concise communication is essential for any team to function correctly. Effective leaders will make it a point to keep lines of communication open at all times and create an open, inclusive environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas. By ensuring employees have a forum to voice their concerns and opinions, a leader can encourage a work culture where new ideas are welcome and misunderstandings are avoided. Number 2, creates a better work environment. Leaders have a profound impact on their overall work environment. Effective leaders create an atmosphere of trust and respect, which in turn fosters creativity and collaboration. Employee morale is also higher in workplaces with strong management, leading to stronger workplace relationships. When employees feel engaged
Trust
with
is the
their
key
team,
word.
yes, absolutely.
You don't
When
have that, you don't
employees
have a good workforce.
When employees feel engaged with their team and that their contributions matter, they are more likely to be motivated to go above and beyond in the workplace. When I was told, hey, we're going to take you out of your leadership role and put you as just a regular person, I did what was expected of me and no more because, like, what's the point? I pretty much was told, hey, this is what you're going to do now. Everybody's like, why aren't you a manager anymore? I'm like, I'm just not. They're like, whoa, what'd you do? I'm like, nothing. I probably didn't kiss ass to the right people. So it is what it is.
Yep.
Number 3, improves productivity. A successful leader makes all the difference in a team's productivity. When employees feel excited about the work that they're doing, they are more likely to be productive. On the other hand, a poor leader can cause employees to become disengaged and uninterested in their work. A team that is led effectively will be more productive, efficient, and successful overall. Number 4, it increases efficiency. A productive leader can help to improve efficiency by getting the most out of their team. Leaders can help improve efficiency by ensuring everyone is working towards the same goal and doing what they do best. They can provide guidance and direction while delegating tasks to make the most of everyone's strengths. Number 5, decreases mistakes. A capable leader is essential for any workplace that wants to minimize mistakes and run smoothly. This is especially important in high-pressure environments where mistakes can have serious consequences. A leader needs to be able to identify potential problems early on and quickly resolve them. Number 6, motivates employees. This is business talk, but this directly correlates to the military. Good leaders know how to effectively motivate their employees. They understand that people are different and what works for one person may not work for another. As a result, they take the time to get to know their team members and discover what works best for them. This can then create a more motivated group of employees who are excited about their own strengths and workplace contributions. Number 7, sets a good example for others. Also important to the military. An effective leader knows that setting a good example is one of the best ways to inspire others. After all, people who are more likely to follow someone they see as a role model. By behaving in a way that exemplifies the values and goals of their team or organization, good leaders can show others what it means to be a committed and successful member. Number 8, inspires hard work. A great leader can instill a sense of purpose in their team. When people feel like they are working towards something bigger than themselves, they are more likely to be willing to put in the hard work required to achieve it. An effective leader knows how to tap into this sense of purpose and channel it into productive effort. Number 9, creates a strong vision and direction for the future. A successful leader understands the importance of having a solid vision and how to create one that will guide their organization towards a bright future. Without a clear vision, maintaining momentum or progressing toward long-term goals can be challenging. A leader with strong vision can create a sense of direction and purpose, helping to focus and energize an entire organization. Number 10, also very pertinent to military mindset and culture, helps keep employees on track. Once a company's vision is well articulated and understood, sound leadership is essential in keeping employees focused on reaching that goal. This means clearly communicating the company's vision and objectives as progress is made and changes occur, and then providing the necessary support and resources for success. What is the last step of the 8 steps of troop leading procedures? Supervise. Helps keep employees on track. You're supervising, make sure they get everything ready to go, all that good stuff. Okay? Very, very, very important. So, again,
yeah.
Do we agree that leadership is crucial? I would say so. Can we also learn equally, if not more profound lessons from leadership than leadership?
Of course.
Of course you can. Absolutely. You see somebody getting, jaywalking across the street and then they get hit by a car. I would say you learn something from a bad example. You're like, oh shit, don't walk when the freaking red hand's flashing and saying don't walk, and you might get hit by a fucking car. All right, cool. You want to be an asshole and drive like a dick in traffic, and then you get pulled over down the road, see the guy getting a $400 ticket for being a jerk. All right, that kind of serves that purpose, doesn't it? So, yes, very, very, very important that you can
Moral of the story.
Understand.
Be an example that people can follow with good intentions.
With gusto. Not with people watching going, good grief.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry for all that alliteration there, but yeah. So, yeah, that's our chit chat on leadership, and we kind of, this is one of the ones that we could go into very, very, very deep detail for hours if we wanted to. So we kind of want to keep this one a little bit more general, broad spectrum conversation. But I think, yeah, that's important. And that's something I find that a lot of kids nowadays, a lot of people are just not wanting to do. They don't want to be like, I don't want the responsibility of like, how many people don't want to drive nowadays because like, oh, it's so sketchy, it's so dangerous. It's like, I couldn't wait to get my damn driver's license, man. It's
Yeah.
like to go and not have to be, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody if this applies to you, but like, it was just that sense of like freedom, like be able to say, I'm going to take the car, I'm going to go up here. Before you had your own car, you did like borrow somebody's car, borrow your parents' car. It's like all that kind of shit. But yeah, like leadership nowadays, especially in the civilian culture, is such a kind of an obtuse thing because it's just like that's what that looks like nowadays. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't look the same like when I remember it, but
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean,
I think that's in large part because corporations in the last 10
20
years, 20 years, they kind of pivoted their they kind of pivoted their they kind of pivoted their what's the word? I'm having an absolute brain fart right now because I'm like dog ass tired and I'm trying to think of the word. They pivoted their direction towards like something that's it. I guess you could say to a certain degree that a lot of businesses actually tried to please everybody. In a real world, right? In the real world, the way things work, you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to please, every single man. You're not going to please every single woman. You're not going to please every single whatever. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of things have gotten lost in translation. A lot of things have gotten lost in translation because of it. Because it's taken focus away from actually looking at building and, or I should say it's taken away from cultivating that culture of actually building up your employees to be better for the future of, say, the organization, company, whatever it is that you're trying. There's just too much focus on other things. Things that I'm trying not to mention directly right at the moment because I don't want YouTube, freaking censoring us into oblivion. But regardless, there's just too much of it, and the more you talk about those kind of War Daddy, he got something to say. Yeah, absolutely. If you think you can please everyone at all the time, you have failed. Responsibility is a lost common trait. Yeah.
You're not going to get along with everybody 100% of the time. You're not going to get along with 100% of the people 100% of the time. That's just human nature. Mm-hmm. There's days when you just like you and I have had fights before where we're just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, just.
And he brings up a valid point about the responsibility thing too, though. Like,
everyone wants the accolades and they want the
right.
They want the fruits of the labor, but they don't want to do the labor. They just want the fruit without the labor. It's like,
and we're in a culture of people, and we're in a culture of people that, unfortunately, I would say a very vast majority of like people in the workforce that there is no responsibility being taken for your actions, for the things you say, let alone for the things you teach people. You know what I mean? Because the things you teach people can have like resounding, consequences later on down the road. You know what I mean? And it's just,
I like the quote I saw. It was talking about like all of those like keyboard warriors that are mean. Like they're a real big tough guy behind a keyboard. It's like too many people don't know the react. let me kind of paraphrase. I'm not going to recall the exact quote correctly.
I don't like myself 75% of the time. Yeah, yeah, I could agree with that one.
I like 100% of the time there, Withers. It's all good. HR in most cases are the cause of the lack of no shit. HR. Ugh.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Because they get themselves involved in
don't need to be involved.
Yeah, and they get themselves involved into something that could be handled at the freaking base level.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
Screw around with the leadership.
You get somebody like a squad leader, platoon sergeant. You got 2 guys in a platoon acting up, being stupid. Hey, everybody, circle up. We're going out to the wood line. Let's freaking solve this right now. You come out of there. You toss each other around a little bit. You shake hands like men.
Human refuse.
Yeah. But like going out to the wood line and solving problems that way, like you get guys that just like, hey, I don't like you. I don't like you. Oh, fuck your face. Whatever. You go out to the wood line. You freaking grapple around a little bit. You come out a little bit bloody. All right, cool. You guys are good. No more of this horse shit, Hua. Awesome. Carry on.
And you were usually right as rain right after.
Yeah.
All right, not a single issue after that.
Let's go get a beer. Absolutely. But what I was going to say though. Oh shit! Where was I going with that? God damn it! I hate when I do that. Because like we bring up so many good points on this, man. It's like
yeah, I know.
But what was I saying? Damn it! I lost it. Fuck.
It happens.
Completely lost it.
Guess what? Fairy dust.
My last flying fuck. Exactly. But oh, God, I hate it. Bugs me when that happens.
Dude, welcome to my life. ADHD in a nutshell. Poof, gone. What was I saying? I don't know. Fuck it.
I'll go back and watch this later and be like, "Oh, that's what I was gonna say." Damn it! And it's like we're already off the air.
That's exactly what is gonna happen. Is that a
but just like
a dinosaur? What is that?
Squirrel. It's a squirrel.
Oh. Yes. Hi there. My name is Doug. Squirrel. Hi there.
Fucking sucks. Anyway.
Freaking.
Yeah, no, I'm still trying. It's not happening.
You're still it's not gonna happen, dude. Just let it go. You're having an ADHD moment. It happens to me all the time.
So anyway, that's our chat on. He goes, "Oh my fuck, that was funny." Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's our conversation on leadership. Again, we want to keep it kind of broad because we could talk about this for days.
Oh my God.
There's leadership academies. There's leadership, everywhere. And there's just bad examples of it too. And it's just like
there's a lot of research out there on stuff on leadership that we could just
could geek out on this for a while.
Yeah.
But again,
because leadership is one of those important things that
food for thought.
Whether you're a parent, whatever. Leadership applies to every aspect of your life, not just if you're a boss or if you're a parent. Every aspect of your life. You could be a leader as a fucking subordinate. So
you can be a leader without being a leader, like just how you conduct yourself, how you interact with others.
Sometimes people make you a leader when you don't expect it to.
Good example. George Washington did not want to be the president. Eventually kind of was like, okay, I'll do it. But there's a guy who is very, very, very instrumental to us becoming our own nation, all this kind of stuff. The first president,
Yeah.
he knew what it was like, but he still was just like, I don't want to do. And a lot of leaders don't. They're just like, it is what it is. So, but that's our chat. Hope you enjoyed it. All good. So we're gonna start wrapping the show up like we always do. If you are, first off, thanks to everybody for stopping by. I'm glad you came back with us. If you're coming back to watch the show again, thank you so much. We cannot do this without you, and you guys are what makes the show go round. So thank you so much. War Daddy, appreciate it as always. Catch you on the next time. This show has kind of an interesting story because of the fact Alamo and I have known each other since high school, like years ago, like 20 plus. We met in high school, we became friends, kind of hit it off pretty well. Got out into the real world and, stayed in touch, stayed friends, this, that, and the other. So at one point, Alamo and I worked with each other in a retail environment. We had this other guy named John that we worked with. And the three of us, man, we had so much damn fun at work. It was fucking epic. It was awesome. We did so much dumb shit. Surprised none of us got fired. We got in trouble a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing serious, but we got in trouble. Had to kind of tell some stories sometimes. But anyway, we all kind of went our own way. We fell out of touch with each other. Alamo and I stayed in touch. We lost touch with John, and Alamo and I worked a gig for his wife, Flipside Mentorship. Please check them out if you have the opportunity. Flipside Mentorship, look that up online. It's a fantastic thing they've got going on over there. Tisha is an absolute fucking rock star. She knows this. She won't admit it, but she needs to understand it from other people. FlipsideMentorship.com. It is an amazing, amazing organization to be associated with. We do some events with them once a year, and it's a blast every single time we do it. We worked an event for his wife a few years ago, and afterwards, Alamo was like, man, we should do something together, like get back and interact with each other, that kind of shit. So we talked about doing a podcast. I'm like, dude, I don't know shit about a podcast. He goes, dude, they put a monkey in space. How hard can it be? I'm like, in the process of this, I found out from a post from somebody on Facebook that John unfortunately committed suicide. He solved a temporary problem with a permanent solution. I reached out to Alamo. I was like, hey, man, did you hear about John? He's like, no, I got to call him for his birthday. I'm like, you can't. He's gone. So for me, that was kind of like the aha moment of being like, hey, this podcast thing, I'm in. Full-fledged, full tilt, let's go. So in the process of thinking about, and kind of developing what we were going to talk about and, what that's going to look like, we were, thought about the name, a name that we talk about, a term that we use a lot in the military is your battle buddy, especially in the Army. You don't go anywhere without a battle buddy. Alamo's like my brother, therefore, ergo, Battle Bros. We also came up with the Battle Bros Code. Now, the Battle Bros Code is something you can use to remind yourself of several things and keep yourself here in the moment. Keep yourself alive. Because of the fact that this is one of the biggest issues to the veteran community is that 22 veterans a day on average commit suicide and solve that temporary problem with a
Speaking of, I actually did some research on it recently. It's that it might be higher, dude.
Really?
Not by much, but it might be a little bit. They keep the statistic of the 22, but it might be a little bit higher now. Freaking sucks.
Anyway, that to us is something that we're trying to actively combat against and cease. That is that's the epidemic that is affecting the veteran community, affecting the military community. So in order to help with that, we came up with the idea of the Battle Bros Code. So it's 4 easy things you can remember. If you're having a day where you feel like everything's closing in, if you feel like you can't go on any further, I'm here to tell you, all due respect, bullshit. You can go farther, you can go harder. I promise you. All you got to do is remember the letters BROS. Easy. Okay, so B, be tenacious. Whatever you seek to do in life, do it to the utmost of your ability, whether it's being a parent, being whatever your job is, being a first responder, being a teacher, being a therapist, in my case, being a leader. Be a tenacious leader. Okay, talking about what we were discussing tonight. Be a leader that has tenacity coursing through their veins. Okay, do not ever take no for an answer. Do what you can to help those around you. Okay, just remember,
Damn right.
like in the words of the great Ron Swanson, okay, don't half-ass two things, whole ass one thing. Give it time. It's like Novocaine. Give it a little time. It kicks in. And you can understand what the hell we're talking about. Be tenacious. R, refuse to surrender. Going through the path of life, you're going to encounter a lot of different things that are going to try to get you turned around, disoriented, off course, off kilt, off tilt, whatever the case may be. Okay, you got to remember when you get knocked down in the dirt, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, shoot your azimuth, look to where you're going, and freaking move out. Keep going. Okay,
Damn right.
do not ever let those challenges stop you from getting to what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, refuse to surrender. O, obliterate your obstacles. As we talked about, those obstacles can be mighty, they can be great, they can be, magnanimous, they can be intense. Okay, do not let those stop you. Sometimes you got to get a little creative. Sometimes instead of going through the door, you go around to the other door and you breach that door. Sometimes you got to climb a tree to get over the wall to open the door from the inside. Sometimes you got to freaking, breach the door with some C4 and Bangalores, and other times you do what this guy did, and you drive an armored vehicle into the damn thing. So, whatever it takes. Sometimes you got to do a number of different things to get where you need to go and do what you got to do. So, obliterate your obstacles no matter what. S, the most important one. Seek out help in a time of need. We are experiencing this epidemic on a daily basis. There have been a lot of people that are no longer here. And if they only reached out to somebody and just said, hey, I need some help, there are resources out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one, the easiest thing you can do is just to talk to somebody. I know that if I've got shit going on where I'm not in a good headspace, I'm just I can't get myself right, I'm calling this guy. I can call him day or night. We've done that for each other where we've been in a place that's not worth mentioning, but like we've been in just a pretty bad fucking place. It's like, dude, I'm pinned against a wall. I'm at a tactical disadvantage. I am fucked. I am calling in emotional combat air support. All right, cool. Be there in 5, going heavy. Stand by. Whatever it takes. Okay. If and this help can come in a lot of different forms. It can be in the form of somebody you served with. That's probably my first go-to, just for the sake of they can understand what you went through. They can understand what you've experienced. Yeah. Even if it's just somebody that might not have served with you, but in the military, they can kind of understand the context, the mindset, that kind of thing. If it's not that, then you can reach out to a family member, a coworker. I talk to my younger brother about some things sometimes. We're there for each other, especially now that, one of the three of us is no longer with us. We try to help each other out as much as we can. In the event that it's gotten to a place where you're pretty convinced of going down a certain path from which you cannot return, and as we mentioned earlier, we're talking about solving that temporary problem with a permanent solution. There are resources out there. There is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. If you're ever feeling like you're going to harm yourself or end your life, reach out to the Suicide Prevention Hotline. There's 2 ways you can get a hold of them. There is the 800 number at 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255, or just dial 1-800-273-TALK, TALK, TALK. You can also reach out to their 3-digit prefix by dialing 988. Again, that's 988. You can call them from a cellular phone. You can also text. I believe you can text. But when you reach them, you press 1 to talk to somebody immediately. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let them help you. Let them talk and do what they're supposed to do. They're trained professionals. Let them help you out. Okay.
Hell yes.
The society is taking more and more of our society every single day, and we have to stop that because everybody deserves to be here. Everybody deserves to have their story told.
Dude, I just thought of something. We might have to do this as an episode. Like, as morbid as it might get, like, how many of these guys are first responders that, they got out of the military and became first responders, and then just one day, poof. Might be something that we can research and freaking do a show on.
Let's talk about that offline, but
yeah,
that might be something we could touch on. But yeah, if you feel like you're going to harm yourself or end your life, suicide prevention hotline, you can dial 988 or 1-800-273-TALK. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay. Please keep yourself here. Please keep yourself in the fight. You deserve to be here. You deserve to get all the help you can get. And that's not just me saying that as one veteran to another. It's as one human being to another. Like, everybody deserves to have a nice, long, full life. Don't cut yourself short. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can remember those 4 things: be tenacious, refuse to surrender, obliterate your obstacles, seek out help in a time of need, you should have a pretty good shot of like getting yourself back on solid ground and at least started in the right direction. It may not be the end all be all solution, but it's a step in the right direction. Okay. So
hell yes.
That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna pass it off to Alamo. He's gonna wrap us up for the night. But
Ali Schmo.
There, Bucko.
So if you guys want to catch up with us on the social medias, you can do that at a few different places. One of them being Facebook, www.facebook.com/battlebros.podcast. You can also catch us on the Instagram. Oh God, excuse me, Jesus. At battlebros_podcast. You can also catch us on VX at BattleBrosPC, where you can actually go ahead and catch all of our latest updates and things of that nature. Heck, even drop down messages and comments in both the comment section as well as the instant messenger services on those platforms. If you'd like to do something just a little bit more private, we also have our Gmail, which is battlebrospc@gmail.com. That is battlebrospc@gmail.com, where you can communicate with us. If, say, for example, there's something that's been on your mind, you don't know if you can talk to anybody else about it, or if you know somebody that's been struggling or, whatnot, you can go ahead and, get with us about it and maybe just seek out some advice or, seek out something just to talk about. We're here all the time. We want to help. We want to build a community. This is what this whole thing is about. We're here to build the community and prevent that one statistic that we're talking about pretty much every episode, because it's important that you stick around. Just, we want you to stay around, and we want your families to make sure that you're around. Ladies and gents, just think before you act. If you don't like catching us here on the YubTub, we have other options for you. We are also on Rumble. where you could go to rumble.com, search Battle Bros, all one word, over in the search bar, and you will be able to find us there. I do have to catch back up on uploading some of the episodes, but I will be doing that very shortly, probably this weekend, and getting us caught up there. Also, we are on pretty much every audio platform. Link in the homepage for our YouTube that you can find. We're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, all the good stuff. Even Google Podcasts. We're on pretty much every platform you can think of. If you guys want to go ahead and take a listen to us, say for example, you're going on a long drive and it's like, oh yeah, let me listen to these guys for a couple hours. These guys are idiots, but they got some pretty funny and interesting things to say, every once in a while. Cool. Do it. Click. Go ahead and click on it. Hit the subscribe, follow button, whatever it is on those platforms, and share the message. Hey, one important thing. Sometimes the message isn't for you. Sometimes it's for somebody else. If it's a friend, family member, whatever, give it a share. Share it with somebody else. Other than that, I pretty much am good. I don't think we have any other announcements. No, nope. We don't have any other announcements. So
once again, this has been episode 098, where we're talking about leadership of the Battle Bros podcast. Again, my name is Mac, my wonderful co-host and non-blood brother, but he is my brother, Alamo over here. This is our passion project. This is what we've been doing ever since we found out about our good friend John. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know we've been gone for almost a month, but appreciate your patience. We had to take some time off, spend time with our families. We are super thrilled to be back, and
holidays.
We're going to keep pushing this forward, and we hope to see you next time. And until then, just remember, be tenacious, refuse to surrender, obliterate your obstacles, seek out help in a time of need. So keep those 4 parts of the Battle Bros code in the back of your mind at all times. You should be doing fine. So until we talk to you again, we're going to sign off, and we'll catch you down the road.
Almost episode 100, baby. Battle Bros out.